Sometimes learners say, I study English every day, but I forget words when I speak. That's because learning isn't only about memorizing. It's about connecting words to emotions and memories. And one of the best ways to do that? Through stories. Stories help you understand how language feels, not just how it works. When you follow real moments, you learn vocabulary, grammar, and tone naturally. You don't study English. You live it. So if you want to improve your English with powerful, realistic stories, make sure to like this video, subscribe to NativeRoad, and leave a comment about what you learned or felt. We upload daily stories to help you speak more naturally. It was a quiet afternoon in Chicago. The weather outside was cold, gray, and windy. But inside the Art Institute of Chicago, everything felt calm. People walked slowly through wide rooms. Their footsteps made soft echoes on the wooden floors. Paintings covered the walls, big, small, colorful, dark, modern, ancient. Some visitors took photos. Some read the small texts next to the artworks. Others just stared in silence. Daniel moved quietly through the museum. He had been walking for a while, past sculptures, abstract pieces, ancient Egyptian pottery, Japanese prints. But then, in a large, quiet gallery, he stopped. A single painting caught his attention. It was big, maybe 2 meters wide. The colors were deep and warm. In the center, a woman stood at a window, her face in half shadow. Behind her, a small room with soft light. There were books on a table. A red chair. A vase with yellow flowers. The air inside the painting felt still. Daniel didn't know why he stopped. But he did. He stood in front of the painting. And didn't move. Other visitors came and went. Some looked at the painting for 5 seconds. Some for 10. A few for 30. Then they moved on. But Daniel stayed. Minute after minute. At first, he just looked at the woman in the painting. Her eyes weren't looking at the viewer. They were looking out the window. But not at anything specific. It was like she was thinking about something far away, something not even visible in the painting. Daniel looked at her face. Then at her hands. Then at the soft curtain behind her. Then at the books. Then at the red chair. Then at the shadows. He took a small step back. Then one to the left. Then to the right. The painting felt different from each angle. It didn't change, but he changed. His focus moved. His thoughts shifted. Time passed. After about 20 minutes, he sat down on the bench across from the painting. His legs were tired, but his mind was full. He took out a small notebook and wrote, "I'm not sure why I can't look away." Then he underlined the sentence. He kept sitting. More people walked by. Some noticed him. Some didn't. A woman near him whispered to her friend, "He's still here." Her friend smiled. Maybe he's writing a paper or something. But Daniel wasn't writing a paper. He was simply watching. After 40 minutes, he noticed something new. In the background, in the corner of the painting, there was a small mirror. In the mirror's reflection, a second figure was visible, very small. A man. Maybe sitting. Maybe standing. It was unclear. But he was there. Daniel had looked at the painting for nearly an hour before seeing that. And it changed everything. Suddenly, the woman's expression made more sense. She wasn't just lost in thought. She was aware. Aware of someone behind her. Of someone watching. Or maybe waiting. Maybe someone she missed. Or maybe someone she didn't want to see. The mystery grew deeper. Daniel stood up again. Walked closer. Looked at the reflection. Then back at her face. Then back again. The artist had hidden a whole second story in one tiny corner. He felt surprised. Excited. Curious. And then, peaceful. After exactly 1 hour, 60 minutes, he looked down at his watch. It was 4:13 p.m. He took a deep breath, smiled quietly to himself, and whispered, "Thank you." Not to anyone. Just to the room. To the painting. To the moment. He turned and walked away. On the way out, he passed other famous artworks. He glanced at them, nodded slightly. But his mind was still back in that room, with that woman, with that hidden mirror. With that strange stillness. Outside, the cold wind hit his face. He pulled up his scarf. The city was loud again, cars, horns, voices. But something inside him felt quiet. That painting didn't teach him any specific lesson. It didn't give him answers. But it gave him a feeling. A connection. A story. And that's why he would remember it. In this story, you heard natural English expressions like, he stood in front of the painting and didn't move, he glanced at them, nodded slightly, and his mind was still back in that room. You also practiced past tense narration, descriptive phrases, and emotional language, all useful for building real fluency. If you enjoyed this story, like the video, subscribe to NativeRoad, and leave a comment about what part stayed with you. We bring you one new story every day, because your English grows when your stories grow. Feel the language. See you in the next video.